Hello everyone and welcome back to Eat Sleep Breathe. Today I'm going to be covering actually something that's been asked quite a bit, not only here on YouTube, but on my Instagram page. A lot of people have been asking me, can you give us a full rundown of your equipment, your fish, your coral, just kind of a full rundown of everything. Pretty much if someone was going to start a tank like mine and wanted to see exactly what I'm running, I guess this video will be able to help you out. So this video is going to be broken up in 3 to 4 parts. One of them is that we're going to be doing today is going to be equipment, followed by fish, then corals, and then I'll possibly do one on like chemicals, like what do I use, what do I feed, so on and so forth. But so far I for sure do have 3 planned. I'm not going to do them all in one video. The video is going to be broken up into 3 different parts because like I said, I want to get into detail and make sure I'm not rushing it. Ultimately, I'm trying to keep the video below 10 minutes, so let's have a crack at it and see if I'm able to do that. So pretty much this tank is pretty low maintenance. A lot of people ask me, how difficult is it to maintain? And it actually is very low maintenance. A lot of the equipment I'm using is going to help you achieve that, specifically like pond matrix, having the right circulation in the tank, never letting detritus build up, so on and so forth. So hopefully you guys can follow along this video, see what I'm running, take the good, take the bad, kind of when you do your own setup, apply what's more beneficial to you and what you think your tank will ultimately do better in the long run. So let's get right to it. So getting down to what I consider one of the most important pieces to your tank is the light. Obviously the most obvious. So I am running the XR15 Radion. This is a generation 4, which is the newest generation. You can see here I am running the diffuser, and I mean this light is absolutely amazing. I've got a great coloration, great growth. For you guys wondering, because a lot of people ask me what program am I running, I'm running the Coral Lab LPS program. It's very similar to the AB Plus, but just a little bit more blues. So if you guys wondering, that is what I'm running. You guys may notice, how the heck did you get this light white with the mount white? I'm crazy about white, for you guys that have seen my tank, so I ended up wrapping it in vinyl that I got from Amazon. Kind of gave it my own little personal touch. A lot of people tell me it looks like Star Wars, but I'm very happy with it, and overall very happy with the Radion light. Another thing, I don't think it's considered equipment, but it is this, what do I call it, a cover, lid, whatever you want to call it. This I did purchase from BRS, not complete, obviously. I did purchase their DIY kit, and it kind of comes with everything you need in there, so it's very simple to put together. For you guys out there wondering, how you can make it, I do have a YouTube video, so if you guys do want to know how to make your own lid, you can follow my YouTube video, and it's literally step by step. That should get you going for any size tank. But yeah, I am running the lid. I do have the clips that obviously suspend it. You can see here, overall it's a very nice flush look, and keeps all your fish inside, which is kind of the most important thing, right? So following the lid, we have here the circulation pump, wave makers, whatever you want to call them. Specifically, the one you are seeing here is the Jager XF230. So they make a 230 and a 250. The 150 and the 130 and the 150 were the generation before. The 2 series is kind of their second generation, so they have a 230 and a 250. Right now you're seeing the 230. It's a little bit, it's like literally on the verge of being too much for this tank. All in all, it's a very important part for the tank, and it does a great job, very sleek. I love how it's very close to the top, so it's really not an eyesore. The other pump I have, because I do have 2, is this Jebao PP4. So this one here is just kind of to mix it up, because if I noticed when it was a Jager alone, it only made, well, as a Jager name states, it only made flow kind of in one direction, even in pulsing mode. So this one here is kind of just mix up the flow a little bit, throws it to my torch all the way on the right. You can kind of see it here, the clownfish is hosting it, but overall it keeps the flow a little bit more random instead of always going in the same direction. But I got to tell you guys, the Jager is an absolute beast, and it doesn't really let any detritus build up. All in all, this Jebao has been working great. It's very quiet, pretty sleek. I mean, as sleek as it can get. And since I'm not running it too high, I can run it pretty close to the top of the water line. So next, moving here to kind of my sump, I guess if you would call it. This is where all the magic happens. So I do still have one of the original media baskets you can see here. Mainly I have the two bottom compartments filled and packed with pond matrix. I mean, guys, this is absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it. Even if you don't have an all-in-one, it's a high surface area, will grow bacteria. And then you can see we have filter floss here on the top. Typically this filter floss, I replace it about once a week, and it keeps my water pretty clear, so I really have nothing to complain about. And then also you can see here I do have my dosing holder. This one here is a bubble magnet. It holds my 3 lines. This is just mounted here, and I kind of do like it. So far I have no complaints on it. On the very back here I do have live rock. Obviously it's too dark to see, but trust me, I have a few pieces of live rock by here, just again to kind of help the pond matrix, to help the bacteria, or at least the nurturifying bacteria. And that's kind of this side of the tank, and like I said, it's pretty straightforward. Another thing I did forget on this side is my Innovative Marine media reactor. So you can see it here. It's I believe it's a desktop one. I am running GFO. You can kind of see it tumbling here. All in all, it's been a great reactor. I've used quite a few. I think this by far is the one you can really tone down so media isn't like flying out of the sponges. Also a nice feature is you can always take out the center tube here, which actually holds the media, either carbon, GFO, biopellets. It's very easy to replace. You don't have to take the whole thing apart. Just take this to the sink, replace the media, change out the media, add more, add less, whatever the case is, and you're really good to go. So all in all, so far I've liked it. I really have no complaints on it, and I'd highly recommend it. Another thing here to the left is my auto top off. The sensor is kind of on the bottom. I am running the Smart ATO, the mini one, the one that's about the size of a penny. And here you can see the water returns. You can see here the RMS mount. You may notice something different. If you are running the Tunze skimmer, you have to cut it right along here, because if not, when you bring out the media cup, you can see here, you'll never be able to get it out. So I actually did cut the skimmer cup, and that allows me to bring out and replace the skimmer. You can see it slides in. And by the way, guys, this skimmer does a great job. It's low profile, really no complaints. So far, absolutely love it. And compact, you can see here the silencer, and it's not too loud. Like I said, I would also highly recommend it. Coming more to the left side, I have for the return pump, I took out the 2 pumps and put 1 DC Jebao pump. That's why you see this tube here. Kind of the only way to route it was using it. Moving on, we have the Eheim Jager 150 watt heater. This by far is one of the best heaters I'd recommend. And then also in this compartment, I have more pond matrix in a bag. Just allows me to do maintenance a lot easier, and rocks aren't going everywhere. So you can see here I have it absolutely packed with pond matrix. And again, this helps for my biological filtration and reducing nitrates and just housing bacteria. More to the left, or actually I also have 2 sensors in here. One sensor is kind of just there. I don't really need it. The others, they're both temperature sensors. The other one is for my temperature controller, which I also did a video on. You guys can see that here on YouTube. Got it from Amazon, I think for like 30 bucks. And then lastly here for my filtration, I have the in-tank media basket. I did make this kind of a whole refugium. It's been doing a great job. I just harvested this probably a day ago, so this thing was packed all the way to the top. But it's been doing a great job of reducing nitrates and phosphates. And then you see here on the very top, I have the filter floss, and on the bottom I'm running carbon. And I just replace about once a month, the filter floss about once a week, and that's kind of it on the full left compartment. On the very back, I have the FUGE light. You guys can check out again a YouTube video I made. You can't really see it because it's covered in black and it's really sleek, but just trust me, there's a FUGE light right here, and that pretty much illuminates the CHAETO, so it allows it to grow. But again, I do have a full YouTube video on that. On the very top here, this is also part of my cooling. This is controlled with a temperature controller, so if it gets too hot, fan kicks on, gets too cold, heater kicks on, and they actually do a great job of working together and keeping my tank at a steady temperature. So in my compartment, I do have a Jebao Doser, which I converted to a vertical mount. You can see here alkalinity, calcium, and NOPOX all working together. I do have check valves on both these channels. You honestly will need it on one. I don't know why I did it on 2. And then On the bottom, we do have the DIY dosing containers. All this I have videos on. You guys can check on my YouTube individual videos on so you can follow. And then I have here my auto top-off reservoir. This here is a Catalite 5-gallon reservoir. It's actually really slim, saves a lot of space. But that kind of really breaks down all of the equipment I am running on this JBJ 45-gallon tank. So to sum it all up, you guys can see there's not much going on in the tank. A few guys may be saying, wow, this guy's running a whole mess of stuff, but there really isn't. I keep it very basic, very straightforward, and it's a very, very, very low maintenance system. On a weekly basis, all I'm doing is feeding the tank and replacing the filter floss once a week, and that's it, guys. I mean, really not much else going on. The skimmer cup probably once a week has to be emptied. But yeah, you know, I have had pretty good success running the system the way I do. So if you guys are starting up a tank, either anything this size or this exact tank, you can go along, follow pretty much and run all the equipment I'm running. I won't maybe guarantee you success because you know, there's a lot of variables in that, but you'll for sure be on the right track to hopefully have a tank, you know, a lot nicer than mine. So I think we're going to end the video here, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down in the comment box below. Remember, there is going to be 2 or 3 more videos of these running down on the fish, the corals, what I feed, and what chemicals I add to the tank. So that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Happy reefing.